Hello, here's the video for the demo of TekSmartLab solution. This is the demo system. We have a Wi-Fi router which creates the SmartLab Wi-Fi network. We have two benches. On each bench we have one scope, an AFG, and a TBS3000A. Instruments are connected to TBS3000A by USB cables. The Wi-Fi indicator on TBS3000A is blinking twice a time. It means that it has connected to the network wirelessly. This is the lab server that SmartLab software is installed. Before starting the software, we need connected to the SmartLab network first. Otherwise, the software cannot work properly. To change the language, you can go to Setting, Languages, and select language. To activate the software, click About, Software Activation. Import the default password and name. If you have purchased TekSmartLab software, send the software serial number to TekSmartLab's representative and you will get an activation code. Import the activation code, click Active to activate the software. We will cover 8 demos in this video. The first 4 is about instrument management, and the next 4 is about teaching workflow management. Let's go to the first demo, bench and lab layout emulation. This is the feature to emulate the physical bench and lab layout in the software. Enter into bench layout interface. We can select how many instruments on every bench from 1 to 6. Let's take 4 as an example. We have a scope, an AFG, DMN, and a power supply on each bench. Click Apply to finish. In the lab layout configuration, each icon represents one bench. Change a column and a row to decide how many benches you will have in your lab. If there is a hallway in between, double-click to remove the benches. You can also change the number method. This helps you to emulate your real lab layout in the software. Once finished, click Apply. The second demo is about centralized configuration of master instruments. This helps to finish the configuration of instruments in batch mode. Click Home button to go to Home interface. Choose Configure Instruments. We will set the oscilloscope on all the benches to be the default setup and turn channel 2 to be off. Click Oscilloscope. Tick Default Setup. Choose channel 2 to be off. Select oscilloscope on bench 1 and bench 2. In this example, we have oscilloscopes available on bench 1 and 2. Click Apply. Bench icon turned to green means the instruments have been configured successfully. If you get the red icon, Configure Fail, please select the icon again and click Apply. We can also disable the auto set of oscilloscope easily. Choose Auto Set. Choose Disable. Select Benches and click Apply. Click Auto Set. You'll get an indication Auto Set has been disabled. This feature helps to encourage students to find out the correct waveform manually. The third demo is a feature to monitor all instruments and to assist the students remotely from one location. Go back Home interface. Click this area. Each icon represents one bench. There should be 4 instruments on each bench. As we have only oscilloscope and AFG working on each bench, so these 2 instruments are shown in green. If the instrument cannot turn to green, or some features cannot work properly in the software, please check their settings and their firmware. For TBS1K, TDS1K, 2K series oscilloscope, press the utility button and change their real USB port to be computer and reboot the instrument. For TBS1K-EDU, TBS2K oscilloscope, and AFG1K series, their firmware should be upgraded to the latest version available on TekSmartLab's website. Click to enter into bench 1. The instruments on the bench 1 will be shown here. If the student changes the parameters of the instruments on the bench 1, they will be shown here. Click this icon to see more parameters of the oscilloscope. In this interface, the instructor can assist the student remotely. For example, to change the vertical position of the instrument, to enable cursor and make some measurements on the waveform, or to click screen to get a snapshot of the oscilloscope. Right-click can save it on the server. The fourth demo will help the lab managers to manage the instrument-related asset information more efficiently. Go back to Home interface. Import the start and stop time. Click Query. All instruments with the model number, their serial number, which bench they are located, how much time they have been used, will be shown here. Click Export to export the data. The fifth demo is to help the customer to organize their lab exercises. Go back to Home interface. Click the Add icon. You can import the new instructor name, the course name, and the new exercise name. Click OK to finish. And we can select the new exercise we have created. For each exercise, it will have its own save configuration, exercise material, and a report template, which will be covered in the next few demos. To delete an exercise, go to Exercise Management. Select an exercise to delete. Please note, if you delete an exercise, this exercise-related information, such as saved configuration, exercise materials, and report template, will be deleted as well. Next demo is a feature to assist the lab manager and the instructor to save the configuration of the instruments under a certain lab exercise and to recall it when necessary. We use this exercise as an example. Click Save to Configure. Some parameters have been set up already. You can change them and click Save. So next time, if you choose this exercise, you can find the parameters you have saved before. There are two differences between this feature and the Configure Instruments feature we have discussed in Demo 2. First, Each time you can set up multiple types of instruments. Second, the configuration of the instruments can be saved under a certain lab exercise. To configure instruments, we need to tick the instrument type. For example, I need to set the AFG and the oscilloscope. Select the benches and click Apply. With this feature, the instructor can finish the configuration of all the instruments in his lab with just one click. Demo 7 is a feature to assist the instructor to quickly share the exercise materials to the students wirelessly. Go back to Home interface and into General Information. Lab server creates a web page for every bench within the lab, and the student can use their mobile or laptop to visit this bench-specific web page with its URL address. The URL address is generated by the server automatically, and it's important to set the correct server IP. This should be the IP of the server that the student can access. Here are the two examples on how to set the correct server IP. In both examples, the Wi-Fi router creates the TekSmartLab network. In condition 1, there is no computer on each bench, so students use their laptop or mobile to access the SmartLab network. At the meantime, the lab server is connecting to the SmartLab network, so the server IP should be the server's IP in the SmartLab network. Condition 2. Computer is provided on each bench, and the computer is connecting to the campus network. At the meantime, the lab server is connecting to the campus network. In this condition, the IP address should be the IP address of the server in the campus network. In this condition, the student can use the computer on the bench to access to the lab server and to access the bench-specific web page. This is a case very popular in many universities. We use condition 1 in this demo. Lab server is connecting to SmartLab network via Wi-Fi. This is the IP address of the lab server in the SmartLab network. Instructor can print the URL address of each bench and stick them to the bench permanently. For example, import 1 and 20 to print the URL address from bench 1 to bench 20. This is the laptop of the student, and it has connected to the SmartLab network. Open a web browser and import the URL address of the bench. This is the URL address of the bench 1. The web page of the bench 1 will be loaded. Import the student name and student ID to log in. The student name and the student ID will be recorded in the database. Click Material, and you'll find the materials that the instructor is going to share to the student. Instructor can easily manage the materials to share to the student. On the lab server, click Exercise Material. Instructor can choose to add or to delete the file. For example, to delete a file on the lab server. If student enter into Material interface, there will be only one file. Student can select the file to download it, and the file will be downloaded locally. This is an efficient way for the instructor to share the exercise materials to the students. Exercise 8 is a feature to allow the students to edit and submit their test report wirelessly. Instructor can update the report template. First, he needs to create a Word file. Next, he needs to load this Word file to the report template. The Word file will be changed to be an HTML file by the software, and this new report template will be loaded automatically when the student is going to create a new report. For student, click Test Report, click New Report. Change your report name or not, click OK. The report template created on the server is loaded. Student can edit some text here, or he can click the scope image button to get a snapshot of the oscilloscope. The student ID will be watermarked on the report so that the test result cannot be shared between the students. Click Submit. The report will be submitted to the server. Student can also download it to edit in Word. On the lab server, click Test Report, import start time, and click Query. All the reports submitted by the student will be shown. Select a report, click Detail to load the report. The reports can also be exported. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.